So Sumida, the sexy class rep that I've been pairing Boruto up with every single week, was literally born to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village, to unleash this big giant weapon named Nue that was harvested out of Hashirama's cells to basically explode everybody. Are you serious? I thought that she was somehow linked to all of this, like she could have been one of the tools involved in this big giant scheme, but to think that she was the one that was basically the main perpetrator this entire time, walking into crowds with a mask on as if that doesn't look really suspicious. Technically, she disappeared very quickly, so nobody could say anything about it, but it was just really weird how it went down. Like, we got a flashback in the middle of the episode when Sai was basically thinking about the Foundation and how destroying the Nue is important so that people who were once connected to Foundation aren't like persecuted and looked at in a bad way throughout the village. So he feels like it's his destiny, being once connected to the Foundation, to do that, right? But then we get a flashback of her father, Sumina's father, basically sealing this like massive chakra into her, or at the very least a seal that would let her unleash this massive chakra. So she's basically like a bomb in a way. And I'm just really sorry, not only is that fucked up, like if y'all think Gon's father is a shitty father, like, you know, sealing almost like a bomb into your I mean, that's not the best parenting skills. I think when I decide to have children, I'm definitely not going to do that. So I guess you guys could say that Double 4 Anime is going to automatically, by default, be a better father than Sumina's father. And that's not really saying much. Just don't give me any props for that. He was salty about the fact that Foundation disbanded. He was a Donzo dick sucker. Now, to some degree, you had to be a Donzo dick sucker when you were in the Foundation. Like, there was no choice around it. If Donzo wanted his dick sucked, he was getting his dick sucked. This is the same dude that put curse marks on people's tongues and basically like wired them to be completely obedient to him. So at the end of the day, like, this is the kind of guy we're talking about here. So this guy was basically obsessed with Donzo. Donzo put him in charge of this research team to basically harvest these Hashirama cells. And when Donzo basically died, he just decided to go on a rampage and destroy everything. Like, Foundation, it's no more! Our ultimate goal was to protect the Hidden Leaf Village, so now that Donzo's dead, our new purpose is to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village. What the fuck kind of logic is that? It's almost as if Donzo did experiments on this dude prior to his demise, right? It's almost similar to what Mitsuki did with Sumida, basically knowing that she was the ultimate culprit, so he came prepared, right? I mean, I don't know how you could switch your logic up 180 degrees like that. And I mean, even if Donzo died, you were still a part of an organization whose ultimate goal, and yes, you guys did it dirty, but it was to protect the Hidden Leaf Village. They tried to do some good things like sending Kabuto out to a bunch of different villages to spy, even though that ended up going south, right? At the same time, trying to retrieve or destroy the Byakugan that was ultimately given to the Hidden Cloud Village to pacify a situation between the two. That was fucked up what happened, and I supported Root in those situations, right? But at the same time, we know what Donzo did with Shisui escalating the UCHIHA situation where Itachi had to basically tell this dude to like, yo, you put your hands on Sasuke, I'll drill you in the asshole. He was so obsessed with his own view that if he couldn't control everything, right, get all the power in the world via the dojutsu, via, of course, you know, Hashirama cell experiments, that means the Hidden Leaf Village was fucked and it was ultimately going to be destroyed. Now, the Hidden Leaf Village did get destroyed a couple of times, but half the time, Donzo was in the middle of the wreck, right? He didn't do anything to make the situation better. Complete dumbass. And if anything, this Nue beast is more dangerous than the nine-tailed fox, because this definitely reminds me of the nine-tailed fox situation where the third Hokage had to go out there, where the fourth Hokage had to sacrifice himself, right? Maybe Kakashi will need to sacrifice himself. No, I don't think they'll need to do that, but this has a potential to be even more dangerous, because while the nine-tailed fox was this big, massive chakra that just went out of control, at the end of the day, Sumina can detonate that thing. So as it's collecting more and more chakra, almost getting to tail beast level, she could just flip the switch and now the entire area is fucked. I had to play with my fidget spinner. I was getting a little stressed. Now, the shit was ultimately summoned, even though Sai thought for a second that he knocked her out with that chop to the neck. He didn't, right? Basically, the seal activated and Nue was summoned. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that was really embarrassing on Sai's part, because he couldn't do anything until Kakashi came. I mean, yeah, he created some diversions, but he went in there thinking he was going to stop her and the summoning, and he didn't, right? Your role ends with you looking like Sasuke, brother. Like, you're not important, like you'll never never have the main role in any episode side. There's a reason your last name is Yamanaka. You got wifed up by Ino. That's fucking pathetic. The Hokage is back though, and some part of me just got so excited, like, I know we're gonna see him in Boruto Naruto the movie for little instances, right? Where he's basically protecting the spectators when the Chunin exams got invaded by Momoshiki and Kinshiki. I know in the novels he went on a vacation with Might Guy, but he was retired in a way, right? And to see him in action once again, he's there in the 7th Hokage's office, and then he arrives with that purple Chidori, that purple lightning blade. I'm like, ooh, he was able to cut that thing's tail off. And here's the thing, even though I said it's an upgraded version and it looks cooler, it's actually inferior to Kakashi's lightning cutter, his original shit. And the reason is because once he lost the Sharingan, he basically lost the ability to time everything correctly and to basically harvest the chakra in the same way. So now he just has this stream of electricity. It still looks cool. He still learned so many jutsu, so many different elements during his prime. When he had the Sharingan, he still has them, but he's not able to perform them on the same level. I'm just happy to see Kakashi in action again. I'm a simple man, so when he's using that, when he's using the mud walls, when he has everybody in formation, you know, to basically summon that barrier to contain that thing, when he's telling Sai to create diversions, I'm like, yes. And there's a part of me that felt like even though Naruto's the strongest Hokage to date, you can make the argument that Kakashi's the better Hokage because he's smarter and he's more strategic. So Naruto came in there, he was ready to unleash Nine Tails havoc on that thing, right? But Kakashi told him, like, you shouldn't do that because it's just going to absorb your chakra, and then once it absorbs your chakra, it would be even more devastating, it'd be even more volatile. So I'm like, yo, props to Kakashi. He came in, we haven't seen him in action for some time, but I'm excited to see him in action again, even though the motherfuckers are tired. What I am hoping will not happen is Boruto saves the day, basically taking the beast out in the other dimension. Like, who gave Boruto permission to jump into that fucking portal dimension in the first place? Like, you think because you got some cool eye visual dojutsu, you could be Obito now? Like, who gave this dude permission to jump into that shit? Why is his first thought to, like, hey, this girl is trying to destroy everything and everybody, I'm gonna now jump into the same dimension that she jumped to, basically getting absorbed? Like, why is that Boruto's thought? Now, Mitsuki played a really big role in this episode. Like, not only fighting-wise, the dude could probably take on Kakashi and win a fight against him. And I don't even want to say it, but now that he's no longer the copycat ninja, I mean, it's open season. Like, Mitsuki could probably take Kakashi out. Granted, he wasn't able to hold Boruto down, but that's because I guess he underestimated Boruto and he left, like, one of his shitty snake clones aside there, and Boruto was able to, you know, summon a shadow clone and take him out, but it wasn't really the Mitsuki. He told Boruto the truth in regards to who's the culprit behind all of these individual ghost incidents. It is Sumire, and he is also planning on killing her. So Boruto, I'm gonna have to do something because I don't think you'll like to see what I'm about to do to her, right? And Boruto basically told him, like, nah, I don't want you killing her. I think we could save her and the entire village. So they almost exchanged perspectives in a way. Mitsuki basically opened Boruto's eyes up to the fact that, yo, not everybody is who you think they are. You know, somebody can smile into your face, somebody can act as if they really love you and they have feelings for you, but low-key they're trying to kill you, which is, like, I mean, it's very polarized emotions. You know, I may put on a smile for people I don't like, but I'm not usually trying to kill them. Like, if I'm trying to kill somebody, you won't see me smiling at them, not at all. But some people are just fucking evil like that. So that's one thing that Mitsuki tried to show Boruto, and on the other hand, Boruto tried to show Mitsuki that people can change, and sometimes circumstances make people do certain things, but ultimately, in the end, you could save them. It's my orders to take you out, whore. You cannot be destroying the village like that. And you know Mitsuki wouldn't have done a thing if it weren't for Orochimaru basically talking to him through that snake. And I really don't like the fact that Mitsuki just let all of this happen, because he could have stopped this. One thing's for certain is that Orochimaru knows about Sumire, because in the middle of that scuffle, and just a little bit before with some of the scenes where we saw Mitsuki alone, he mentioned her real last name. Now, he wouldn't have that intel if he was following, you know, Naruto's team. He has that intel from other other sources like Orochimaru. So Orochimaru's involved in all of this, and it makes sense. Like, who else is sophisticated enough to basically harvest Hashirama cells and create an ultimate weapon like this? Orochimaru is straight up cancer, bro. And I don't use that word lightly. I really hate using the word cancer, but if there's one word I could describe Orochimaru with, that would be the word. I'm just curious to see what his excuse is this time. I'm still happy that he let Mitsuki go out there and attempt to kill her off, but fucking Boruto got in the way of all this. Like, how could you, Boruto? Like, he was going to put her down and save the village. He literally wants to save a nuke when Mitsuki could have put her down, no risk, like 100 different ways. Thank you, Boruto. I'm sure your classmates Denki and Iwabe, who don't appear in the manga, who don't appear in the movie, will come to appreciate your actions, Boruto. It's not like we'll really remember them, to be honest, so, you know, I'm just making that up to talk shit about Boruto, but still, that's not cool. Denki and Iwabe are really nice guys. It's not nice to put them in this, you know, predicament. I freaking love this episode, guys. What an upgrade in terms of pacing. I really hope it continues steady. I'm really curious to see what's going on with Boruto's dojutsu because